It's Oliver Slope from Blue Line Futures in Chicago. Oliver, thanks for being on the show. All right, brother. You're batting cleanup, number one. And number two, you got to tell us something that nobody else has told us all day today.
Well, what a difference 24 hours makes, right? Yesterday at this time, I will not use the Chicken Little pun, but we were falling out of bed quite a bit. Now we're rebounding, and I think that was largely expected that we were going to trade that report for the better part of 5-10 minutes and then kind of move on, because weather is still, as we know, a very important factor going forward. But I think outside of that, looking at kind of the macro picture, the U.S. dollar is falling out of bed here as well, making new 15-month lows, and that's really rising the tide in a lot of commodities. And I think the grain sector is certainly a beneficiary of that. Export sales this morning was also pretty darn strong for the corn market. And then we've got a flash sale for soybeans. So there's some silver linings on the back of that bearish USDA report that I think puts us in a pretty good technical shape here as we look to round out the week.
Do you think, obviously, after a move like that and saying corn, you'd rather be a buyer than a seller just because of where we sit after the moves. I get that. And we still have ways to go. I mean, everybody forgets it's not a done deal by any means just yet. But beans have still got some premium in them. Where do you feel about how that market could kind of set up? I mean, it seems as though the trading gods don't like soybean traders because of what we've just had the last two reports, right? What are your feelings there in beans, like in a kind of a macro view?
Well, soybeans are going to be very interesting to keep an eye on. Arguably, the weather is going to be more of an important factor there going forward. And although we got a higher new crop carryout in yesterday's report, we do have a lot less acres coming online this year. So we got to have a lot of things fall into place to have that big of a carryout or that meet those USDA expectations. If weather starts to turn hot and dry again, that could certainly come down quite a bit.
Yeah, you're right. And it was great. We had an analyst on yesterday that said basically he felt like what the USDA gave us was they said, we want 2.1 in corn and 300 in beans and work backwards from there, please. All right. So that's what he felt like. That's how we got those numbers. All right. Stay right there. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures in Chicago after this.